I reported on the death of the world's electric car of the year not long ago. But, well, while it wasn't quite dead and buried at the time, I think it really is now. As for Jaguar Land Rover, well, the entire company looks set for bankruptcy within the next few years. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Great to see you here. While I don't really see any joy, any celebration in the death of Jaguar or Land Rover. In fact, my dad's British, so I do have a bit of a soft spot for British car makers, even though, well, it's owned by an Indian conglomerate called Tata now. But still, Jaguar and Land Rover, there's still a bit of a soft spot there for those car companies. So it is disappointing to see what's happening there. So what exactly is happening to the World Car of the Year? What exactly is happening to Jaguar and Land Rover? Well, Jaguar reported 14,574 global retail car sales. In other words, Jaguar only sold 14,500 cars across the entire face of the planet for the first quarter of 2022. That's a 38% year-over-year decrease. And, well, that's less cars than what pretty small electric car companies are selling in China every single month now. A similar rate of decline was seen from Land Rover, who were down 35.6% to 64,000. The Jaguar Land Rover group as a whole had only 79,000 vehicle sales over the first quarter, which is a decrease of 36%. Now, the company says that these challenging circumstances have been caused by semiconductor shortages and supply constraints. But whatever the reason, the Jaguar I-Pace just continues its precipitous fall when this vehicle, it should have succeeded. I mean, all the marketing it got from being the World Car of the Year, from being an early entrant into this space. People love EVs. Look how many people are buying Lucid Air vehicles. It's like an unknown quantity, that car, right? So why aren't they buying the Jaguar I-Pace? Well, there's a number of reasons. One of those is that it's extremely expensive. For its price, it's completely uncompetitive. Jaguar, or their parent company, have done almost nothing to improve the car over the last 3 years since its initial inception. Range is the same. Battery chemistry is the same. Features are the same. Interior is the same. Price is still very, very expensive. According to a press release, global retail sales of the Jaguar I-Pace in Q1 2022 were only 2,000. That's 10% less than a year ago, and the worst result for the car since its market launch 4 years ago in 2018. And it means that the I-Pace's share out of the total Jaguar volume incredibly increased to 13.8% compared to 9.5% a year ago. Now, the sad thing about this story is Jaguar could have gone to more effort. They actually don't manufacture this car themselves. It's actually contracted out, I believe, to Magna Steyr. You know what? They could have gone to a whole lot more effort to make this car competitive. They could have used better batteries. They could have had a lithium iron phosphate variant. They could have had a variant with a higher nickel density. They could have had a variant with a longer range. They could have had a variant. They did none of this. They just said, here's the car. Looks great, doesn't it? We're going to charge you $120,000 for this, and we're going to do nothing to it. But you know what else they said? They said, we're going to give you over-the-air updates like the way that Tesla does. Did they do it? Did they follow through? No, they didn't. So can you imagine how many of the Jaguar's customers who bought this car would have recommended it to their friends after being promised something and then not receiving it? Yeah, probably not all that many. Now, for reference, in 2021, Jaguar sold 9,970 I-Paces. It was the lowest result since its launch and 39% lower than in 2020. The average electric vehicle share out of Jaguar's total volume was 11.6% compared to over 16% in 2019 and 2020. Jaguar I-Pace sales in 2018 was 6,900, although it came mid-year, so that number wasn't too bad. 2019, 17,000. 2020, 16,000. 2021, it fell back to 9,900. This year, the company is on pace to sell 8,000 total. Now, Inside EV says it's really difficult to predict the future of the Jaguar I-Pace, whether it will rebound once the semiconductor shortages ease, or maybe it will require some major updates to make it more competitive. Sorry, it's dead. It's dead in the water. It's a dead duck. That's the reality. There's no way of sugarcoating this. I don't get paid by any automotive company in the world, I can just tell you the truth. It's dead. Facts. Now, Jaguar obviously claims, as does every other legacy automotive company, whose sales are declining drastically, that it's nothing to do with demand. Demand is strong. It's just that, we just can't supply the cars that people want, apparently. You know what? Lordstown Motors, you know what they did? They said the same thing. You know what we found out later? Those pre-orders, they were fake. I think it's a bit of a pity what's happening with Jaguar Land Rover lately. And I really do genuinely hope that they can change in the future. But right now, the reality is they have very little electric product. They only have one car, and it's insanely expensive. All the rest of their vehicles are, well, powered by gas or petrol or diesel. And frankly, not that many people want those kinds of vehicles anymore, regardless of what the mainstream media is trying to sell you. That's the reality. Now, Jaguar have said that thanks to these declining sales, they are actually, well, not thanks to declining sales, but they ignored that reality. They've said they're actually going to replace this vehicle entirely for a new platform with a new electric vehicle setup. Now, whether or not that helps sales of this new vehicle, I don't know. But it definitely won't if it's still $120,000, even for the base model. Now, I have to say, Jaguar's electric vehicle effort has been very, very disappointing. They had a really good start 4 or so years ago, but a steady, constant decline since then. Now, the reality is the I-Pace is not constrained by supply chain issues, even if Tata would like to tell you it is. The reality is it's just not a competitive product, period. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.